Hey, I'm Renee, and I am. What am I? A silly head, or I'm a hypocrite? What would you say that? Why would you call yourself a hypocrite? You might ask. Well, I'm gonna do something that I kind of am against, but I kind of am for. So I found, okay, to explain, I found this in a local bookstore where it's just kind of Christmas tips, and they have like different. Give me a better example. Just a moment. No, sorry. I feel like it's best with, yeah, at the back. So at the back, at the top here, it says tips for the teens. And then it's five tips. And then inside, you know what, I'm just going to show you inside as well. Because this bugs me. Give me a little moment. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to fix it. Give me a little moment. Should have checked it out before. But I'm going to fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna. But where did you go? Maybe it was me that was being silly. Okay, I'm just gonna show here. So here it says book talk favorites, and then has a picture of 10 books. But I'm like, what if you want to buy a book for someone in your life, but you don't really know what they like? You might pick one of these up and buy them one of these. Okay, so one of two things can happen. Well, one, they might have already read that book if they were like a big reader, or B, that book might not be for them. So I feel like this kind of commercialized tip thing is kind of like, why would you do this? Because I feel like, and also like general, when you have like list of the end of the year, it's like 10 books you have to read from this year, or 10 books everyone should read. I'm like, should everyone read these 10 books? I mean, people are different. You people who love to read, who have little time to read. Me, being one of them. I don't read the same books as the guy next to me in the bookstore or the guy next to me at the library. People have different tastes. I mean, some of our tastes overlap, yeah, but not all of them. And yet, as you can see from the title, this is a book recommendation video. As in, if you are curious what books to give for people in your life for Christmas, here are some tips. So, yeah, why am I doing this? Because I've just kind of called myself a hypocrite. I suppose I'm doing it because I feel like, why not? I mean, a place to check out tips for books for Christmas is here. And also, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you like a big amount for most of the categories I have. So it's like, of course, you know the person in your life the best yourself. But if the person in your life is kind of into what I'm talking about, then you will probably find something there. And most of the books I'm going to recommend are also books from earlier years, so they probably will be on sale. At least here in Norway, there's a reason. There's a rule like, sorry, there's a rule that you can't have sale on books from this year. It has to be last year's books. So, yeah. And let's just get into it now, shall we? I'm kind of curious. How long have I rabbled now? Doesn't really say. 4 minutes. Not too bad. But yeah, let's get into the books. The meat of this video. So my first, and yeah, I'm not gonna do like I'm not gonna do the categories like what I'm gonna do is kind of, okay, so forget it. Let's get into it. So first we have books for the rare reader, which also kind of doubles up as books for the one with not a lot of time. So this is book tips if you have someone in your life who doesn't read that much. If they might, maybe they read 3 books a year, and they read 1 book during summer, 1 book during Easter, and 1 book during Christmas. Maybe they just read a book during Christmas. Like they read, but they don't read a lot. Or if it's someone who loves to read, they are just busy, so they don't have a lot of time to read. Here are some recommendations for that person in your life. We have Friends to Keep in Art and Life, which is just a beautiful collection of art, and then someone put some fun, interesting text towards it. So some people might say, that's not a book! It counts. It is in between two pages, so it counts. So yeah, this book is something you can finish quickly, even the most busiest person, but also quite, I would say it works for everyone because, as I said, it's beautiful pictures and interesting text, not a lot of text. I don't really see how you could argue against this book. I suppose maybe you don't want this book if you're anti art, but even if you don't like art, it's not like this is a huge book of art. It's a quick one. So yeah, well, kind of like a coffee table book, but just shorter. Like you could have this at a dinner table and just discuss the things, and yeah. Then we have Odd Girl Out by Laura James. This is a biography. It is 212 pages, so as you see, quite short. And it's all about her and her did that her and her how she gets diagnosed with autism late in her life. It's about being autism and having and being female presenting, and it's also a bit about Brexit because it's written around that time, and yeah, a great interesting read. Then we have Sophia Khan and the Baby Blues by Ayesha Malik. Now, this is the third in this series, so I suppose I wouldn't recommend it to everyone because I suppose you could read it still. But I mean, you're kind of thrown in at the end, like the end of her story in a way, because at least so far, this is the last of the Sophia Khan stories. But still, if you have read the first two, I suppose also if you feel like this looks interesting, you could pick up the first two first and then pick up this one. Uh, but yeah, it's a novella, I would say. It is 130 pages, and then some are kind of shorter in a way. It's diary-based storytelling, which is often quite a fast-paced, fun variety of writing, and yeah, just very good. Sorry, why would I say that? Okay, just assume for the rest of the video that every book I'm going to recommend is good. I'm not going to recommend you a bad book. I don't do that. So sorry. Then we have Geek Drama by Holly Smale, also a novella. This I think maybe might be quicker. Yeah, no, it's the same page length. It's 130 pages, and yeah, this is the Geek Girl series. This is actually set before the first book, so I suppose kind of prequel. Though it's not like you need to read it, but it's if you like Harriet Smale, well, I want you. Of course, you want to read all of her, and also if you haven't read about her before, a great place to start. Sorry, maybe I should get some water. Not right now, but yeah. Then we have Desire and a Deep Blue Sea by Olivia Dade. As you can see, this is a romance taking place on a deserted island, or like a tropical island. It's not deserted, but it's tropical. It is 120 pages. Again, a quite like quick read. I feel like a lot of people that either don't have a lot of time or don't like to read that much, it's easier for them to pick up a shorter read. So yeah, a lot of these books are shorter on the shorter end. This is a lovely romance. So for the romantic in your life that doesn't have a lot of time, this book definitely worth trying. You know what? I'm just gonna getting some water, and I'm also doing a no. I'm just gonna get some water. Yeah, I'm back. Um, Then we have, maybe a bit silly of me, but pretty sure it exists in English. And if not, it's kind of an example of a book genre you should check out. It is Nina's Dagbook 3. I believe this is the last one, I'm not quite sure. Someone said it's the fourth one after this one. Anyway, so this is a diary form story. So it's all about like 11, 17, 11, 21. So I would say these kinds of books are very much smart to read if you don't read a lot. Because I quite feel like these books are just so fastly read because it's just so quick and a lot of the action happens fast. And yeah, there's quite a lot of this book out there in the ether. And also, actually, some classics are also that kind of style, like Dracula, actually written in diary form or letter form, if I'm not quite mistaken. So, yeah. And then we have The Case of the Missing Treasure, a crime, written for middle grade audience, but also, I mean, a good story can be enjoyed at any age, and this is definitely very enjoyable for any age. It is 150 pages. Then we have The Governess Gambits by Erica Ridley, which is a mystery slash romance short story, as you can see. Sorry. It is okay, yeah. This is 190 pages, so on the longer side, but still, it's not amazingly long. So, yeah. And then we have I'm Only in It for the Parking by Lost Voice Guy, Lee Ridley. This is a British comedian. It's his memoir, and it's not a very long book at all. It's 205 pages. And of course, it's written by a comedian, so it's a very funny book. It gives you insight into how it is to be disabled in UK, and also how it is to be Lee Riley, I suppose, in the UK. And yeah, very good book. Then we have Funny You Should Ask. Your questions answered by the QI elves. So this is kind of like, if you see the series QI, it's kind of like that in book form. So it's kind of a book where you can pick up, read a page, and then put it down again. So you don't need to read it in 1-2 sittings. Read it however long you want. Read this book during a whole year, a whole summer. That's something you could do. Dear reader, the comfort and joy of books. So this is a long essay about reading. It is 190 pages, and yeah, a lovely book to check out if you like that kind of stuff. Then we have Sure I'll Be Your Black Friend by Ben Felipe. So this is an essay collection by Ben Felipe. He is originally from Haiti, and he's written some young adult books, and this is his essay collection. I don't believe he's written like for adults as so far, but yeah, this book is just amazing. And I also would say in general, if you don't have a lot of time, essay collections are very good because a lot of them are like under 300 pages, under 200 pages, and yeah, in that way, a good place to pick up. Then we have Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. This is the actress, but also the author now. She's written some books. She's also directed some things, I believe. Yeah, anyway. This is her essay collection about her life, more or less from Gilmore Girls to the Netflix adaptation. So those years. It talks a bit about her words again, about her childhood, but not that much. And yeah, very good book. So yeah, those are the books I would recommend if you have someone in your life who doesn't have a lot of time, who wants to read but don't really know where to start. Check out some of these. But also, I would say if you have someone in your life who wants to read more or who doesn't read but wants to read, I would say just, or maybe they, like, I suppose the obvious thing would be like to just tell them to go to a bookstore, go to a library and ask for tips or find what's new at the shelves. But sometimes, at least in a bookstore, maybe the newest book is not for you. Maybe the most best-selling book is not for you. Well, then I would say, think about what do you like? Do you like to watch movies? Or are you interested in history? Are you interested in the political world that we live in? Well, then you could read a book about Brexit, a book about American politics, a book about American history. I mean, there's a book about more or less everything. Google what you are interested in, and you'll find a book about it, probably. Or you could go to YouTube, check out, like, write some subject, like, yeah, Brexit. I'm just going to continue with that. And then you'll probably find a video about it, and then probably also they would most likely also probably talk about this and this book is cool if you want to read more about this topic. So, yeah. Then we have the next topic, which is the crime fan. Now, personally, I don't read a lot of crime. I'll read some of it, but not a lot. So this pile is not going to be huge. Though I'm going to link some people down below that do more crime, more crime reviews than I do. So you can check those out if you want. Sorry. But we have Murder on a School Night by Kate Weston. This is crime, young adult crime, though, again, any book that's written amazingly can be read and enjoyed by any age, at least in my mind. This is crime plus feminism plus humor. Think of it that way. And yeah, it's just very bizarre, but also very good murder mystery stuff in there here. Also, the first in a duology, just so you know that. Though I would say it could be read as a standalone. You don't have to read both books, but if you enjoy this book, you have another book that you can also enjoy. And the both books are out right now, so yeah. Then we have then we have sorry, A Meditation on Murder by Robert Thorogood. So this is A Death in Paradise, which is a long-running British TV series. And then hitting myself, one of the writers behind that series has written some books based in the same world. So it's from the people behind the first few series. It's I'm blanking out, but it's Richard. Yeah, it's Richard. It's I'm blanking out, but yeah, the first people, because after a while you have different actors, but at the beginning, in the beginning, you have these actors. No, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, Richard Poole. You have Dwayne. You have I'm blanking out on names, but yeah, these people. So if you like murder mysteries in exotic locales, I would say check out this series. I think there's like 4 or 5 books out. So yeah. And then we have The Mysterious Mr. Quinn by Agatha Christie. Personally, I love Miss Christie. She's just such amazing books. If you're gonna ask me like a favorite Christie, I'm like, I don't know. Some of them are so good, so I can't really say that. But yeah, this one is one of my favorite, at least. I very much enjoy it. It's also a series collection of novellas, short stories. So, to someone who doesn't have a lot of time, this will also work. I'm just gonna. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna double check something. But it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Why is it? Yeah, sorry. As I said, still kind of new, this computer. And then we have Richard Osman's The Man Who Died Twice. This is the cover that I have, that's English one. The English one, sorry. Norwegian one, but it's, yeah, originally English. It is, I suppose, kind of like the other books. It's a cozy mystery. It's This one is a like great cast of characters. It's a very funny story, very good story in all the ways I would say, but it's also a mystery. So it's not a mystery where the characters are slightly interesting, but a mystery is the best point. Like all of the books is plot lines in this book is amazing, and yeah. So far, there's 4 books in the series. So just so you know that it's ongoing. And then we have Death Knocks Twice, another Robert Thorogood book in the Death in Paradise series. Hmm. Sorry. And then we're gonna move on. Give me a little moment. Give me a little moment to do some fixing. Hmm. Up next, we have For the Curious Kid. So, if you have a teen middle-ager, a teen or a tween, or someone 8, 9, 10, or I suppose just someone who is curious and doesn't mind reading things based on that age range, here's some cool books. This is going to be a mix of fiction and non-fiction, because I feel like curious people can read. I mean, I feel like me, I'm a curious person and I like non-fiction. That's one of the reasons I do that. But I also like books, not fiction books that are weird. And I would say that's kind of like on like the curious, like that's kind of the same way, I would say. So we have Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. This is a very elaborate, very good series. It's right now like 19, 20 books, a lot of books. Most of them can be read as a standalone. So if you're kind of scared, like so many books, you don't have to read them the whole series if you don't want to. Though, why wouldn't you? It's very funny, also at parts quite scary, and so bizarre and weird, and yeah, definitely curious, I would say. Hmm. Then we have City Spies by James Ponti. This is teens or tweens being spies, which yeah, just love this concept. So good, so good. This is the first in the series. It's ongoing story series. I've read the first 2. Both of them are amazing. So yeah. Then we have moment. Feminists Don't Wear Pink, which is an essay collection where I have lots of different essays by yeah, it's by lots of people. It's Emma Evanna Lynch, it's Gemma Arterton, it's um yeah, lots of people, lots of big names here. I would say this is for people who are curious and people who are like, if you have a person in life who's 10, 12, who hasn't really read that much about feminism, this is a good place to start. Or I suppose if you're a person in your 20s, 30s who want to read more about feminism, pick up this book. For me, I didn't love it because I feel like a lot of the things I've read this here I already read other places. But I would say it's a good starter book to reading about feminism. Like on the feminist journey, this is a good place to start, I would say. Definitely. Cream Buns and Crime, which is both short stories with crime, but also there's some quizzes, there's some fun facts, different stuff like that. Then we have, sorry. Then we have Demigods and Magicians by Rick Riordan. So this is a collection of 3 short stories where the main characters from the Egyptian part of the world meet the main characters from the Percy Jackson series. So they have to fight evil together. And yeah. And then we have another nonfiction, which is Impossible Things by Dan Schreiber. So Dan Schreiber is one of the persons behind the QI podcast, No Such Thing as a Fish. He's a very curious person. And he also has his own podcast called We Can Be Weirdos. And this is kind of like this is a kid's version of his adult books, which is called The Fury of Everything Else. This is a book about aliens, about ghosts, about, yeah, weird people around the world and weird things. And yeah, very good book, I would say. Although I would say it's very much the same as his adult book, though like this one has more pictures. So you wouldn't need to read both, though of course if you want to read both you could do that. And then give me a little moment. I'm just gonna fix some stuff. Then then we have book recommendations for the romantic in your life. The person who just loves romance books, well, just loves romantic movies. These are your good go-to places to check out those. First, we have Written in the Stars by Alexandria Belfleur. First of the books in general. This is a sapphic love story. It's set in Seattle, and it's just, yeah, amazing book. It's just so good. 5 stars. Love it so much. Honestly, I love all of Alexandria Belfleur's books all so much. So yeah. Then we have Pardon My Frenchy by Fer Rochon. This is a adult romance set with around the environment of a doggy daycare. So you have lots of dogs in the book. And it's also kind of, not enemies, but I suppose in the beginning it's kind of like not liking each other, to romance, to lovers. And yeah, delightful read. The Love Con by Ceresia Glass. A love story set around cosplaying. It's friends to lovers, but also fake dating story. And yeah, amazing book. And then we have, I mean, this is a book people probably have heard about from before. It takes a lot to not have heard about this book by now, but I'm gonna say it still. It is Red, White, and Royal Blue. I just love this book. It's just, yeah, amazing. It's just great read, really. Great read. I'm not gonna say more because you already know about it. And then we have My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. This is the first in a trilogy, at least a series. It's set in modern day. It's funny. It's romance between human and vampire, and yeah, it's just amazing good book. It's very good, delightful, really. Then we have Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert, which is a love story with 2 guys set around a convention. It's also, give me a little moment. It also, which is a thing that I very much enjoy, there's pictures, which is just so cool with pictures in an adult book. I mean, pictures in kids' books, yeah. Adult books, not that much. And I just love that aspect of this book. It's so cool. Then we have The Boyfriend Project by Fer Rochon. Her first book, at least one of them. Anyway, it's the first one of her trilogies. Hitting myself. I know I do that sometimes. And yeah, this is a office romance. It also has a bit of a mystery aspect to it, which I very much enjoy. It has a main character in STEM romance, and yeah, it's just so many good things about this book. It's an amazing book. And then we have Truly Madly Royally by Debbie Rugo. Kind of, this one gives me very much Hallmark vibes, like Hallmark, so it's cheesy, but it's fun. You have a fictional European country with royal Of course, one of them is a prince, and yeah, it's a delightful story. And then, last but not least, we have The Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry, Before Christmas by Sarah Rush. This is set in a world where you have royals, like you have royals of Easter, royals of Christmas, all the holidays have royals. So that happens. And yeah, it's a nice, very, very nice, very romantic story. Though, to be quite honest, this is a book I did not love personally, but people in general do love it, and I would still say it's a book you should check out. It's not a waste of time anyway. It is a delightful read. It is you will be entertained when you read this. You will be that. And then give me a moment. Then we have the books for the curious adults. So the other list was for curious kid. This is for adults. Here I end up picking up just non-fiction books. So yeah, I suppose you could say in general that readers in general are curious. So if you read fiction, non-fiction, we're all curious. Though I suppose maybe non-fiction readers are more curious. Are we? Are they? Maybe. I don't know. What do you think about that? Maybe. Anywho, here's my suggestions for non-fiction book for adults. We have the epic ultimate book of heroic failures by Stephen Pyle. This is, yeah, it's one of my favorite books of all time. It's just amazing. You just reread this, you'll be so flabbergasted and so amazed about how the world can be so strange and so weird and so what this really happened. But it is a non-fiction book, so everything in this book has happened. And yeah, it's a great book. And then we have Word Drops by Paul Anthony Jones. This is based on a Twitter account, so it's short fun facts about languages, both the English language, but also languages across the world. And yeah, delightful book. Also, since it's most of them are some quickies, it's a great book. Again, if you don't have a lot of time, pick up this book, read a few pages, put it down. Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. This is feminism from the black women point of view. Important, very good non-fiction. Very good, of course. All the books are not very good. Yeah, of course you understand that. But yeah, Around Ireland with a Fridge by Tony Hawks. This is him, a travelogue of him hiking around Ireland with a fridge. Kind of a crazy idea, but that's what I did. And yeah, this is a book he wrote about what happened. There's also a movie that exists about this book, but yeah, I think the book is more true to story, and yeah, it's just bonkers. Ayuari on Top by Richard Ayuari, which this is both a biography about his life, but it's also about the movie View from the Top by Gwyneth Paltrow, which is just, why would you write a book about that? That's something that Richard Ayuari decides to do, and yeah, madness. Cool madness, but madness. Pride by Tim Tate, which is based, well, yeah, this is an interview story. I interviewed people who were there when it happened. This is also a movie. But at first, the real thing happened, then the movie happened, and then the book happened. That's the timeline of it all. And yeah, this is about gays from the UK who go to Wales to help them fight Thatcher. And yeah, a great story about solidarity and being outcast. And yeah. Then we have Disability Visibility by Alice Wong, a essay collection about disability in the world. And yeah, this book will make you cry, will make you smile a bit, it'll make you think, and yeah, great read. We Should Hang Out Sometime by Josh Sundquist. A book all about how he tries to find love and he thinks he has good luck and then things doesn't work out. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave you, really. And then we have Frequently Asked Questions About the Universe by Jorge Chan and Daniel Whiten. So this is like, will time ever stop? Could we ever teleport? Yeah, like uh, scientific answers to bonkers questions, and yeah, quite a fun book read. Then we have Atlas for Curious People. So this is just kind of a bunch of different maps with kind of context into it, and yeah, definitely if people are curious, check out this one. And then we have And a Bottle of Rum by Wayne Curtis, all about the history of the rum, but it's also history of the New World, it's a history about slavery, it's history about a lot of things looked through the eyes of rum. And yeah, love this book. And then we have Babel by Gaston Doré. This is about the world's biggest 20 languages in the whole world. And yeah, insightful, good read. The same author also has a book about languages in Europe, just so you know that. And then people are like, what? Aren't you finished soon? I have one more category. One more category. Give me a little moment. And then we'll do it like this. And this. Yep. So the last category is for people outside the box. What does that mean? So I would say that's kind of a different way of saying if you feel different, if you feel out of the norm, if you feel like an underdog. This is underdog stories. One of the main characters' storylines I love, underdog, and yeah, this is those different books that will make you feel seen if you feel different from everyone else, or from people, at least, or a lot of people. First, we have Soulless by Gail Carriger, the first of all of our books. But yeah, so the main character, Alexia, she doesn't have a soul, which I would say, yeah, makes her quite different than other people. But also, she can touch vampires and they will become human. So it has different aspects to the whole thing, very much. And she's kind of also strikes as well. She's a spinster, which means she's in her late 20s and not married yet. Oh my god, she's 28. The scam. Yep. And yeah, it's just an amazing good universe and series and book, and yeah, highly recommend it. Then we have Starry Nights by Daisy Whitney. The main character here is Julian, which you don't really see a lot of main characters in YA that are guys, not girls. So that's kind of fun. But it's also kind of fun that the main character is French. It's not a American who travels to France. It's a French guy, but he knows English. The book is written in English, so yeah. And also, I love how the main character, he's not. I would say he's very much ordinary person at least the beginning of the book. Like he's not a genius. He doesn't know everything. He doesn't get all A's, but he's not a idiot head who cheats in school and gets just A F and stuff. I love how this guy he's in the middle there. He gets C's and B's. And I feel like that's so cool to like see someone who's not either very smart or very dumb. Someone in the middle. I feel like a lot of people are in the middle, but people aren't written about being in the middle in books, and that's weird. But yeah, this book is amazing. a underdog book. And then we have Invisibility by Andrea Kramer and David Leviathan. One of the main characters, Steven, is invisible to most of the world, except the other main character. And Elizabeth, she can see him when everyone else can't. They're both underdogs in different ways, and this book, in general, it's an amazing read. You should check it out. Okay, you definitely should. And then we have, why is this here? I don't know. I'm just gonna move it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Adrian Skates. So this is a comic book. It's Downton Abbey parody. Downton Abbey with spice and yeah, just delightful. Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is head canon of a neurodiverse main character, and also I have heard afterwards that Olivia Atwater has autism, so also the main character has autism, so it's just not on page. Hmm. I don't know why I coughed in your face, but sorry. Dragon Blood Ring by Amparo Ortiz. Now I'm thinking why I'm showing you a second book, but yeah, anyway, this universe, this duology, it's all about Puerto Ricans, it's about dragon riders, it's about uh, being a person of color, it's underdogs in so many ways, it's about, yeah, just all the ways, and it's an amazing series. Girl of Fire and Forms by Ray Carson. The main character in this one starts as being fat, not chubby, but fat. Think think of the main character from Hairspray, that kind of size. And that's not really something you see often in books or media in general. So that's very cool to see that here. Then we have the Cassandra complex. Cassandra has autism in this book, very much an underdog. A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher. I love the main characters here are different and underdogs, and yeah, just also amazing book. Overthinking by David Fenn. This whole series, well, I haven't read the third book yet, but yeah, the first two books in the series is very much underdogs against the big bad guy. It's about people of color. It's about gays. It's yeah, everything kind of things like that, and yeah, think men, but in book form, I would say. A Hope Divided by Alyssa Cole. This is uh, this is a historical romance slash mystery set during the Civil War from Black Americans, which often you don't really see their point of view from historical books. So yeah, very good. Then we have just a few books left. Where did you go? Give me a moment. Yeah, a little moment. Yeah. Sorry, I was almost wrong, but it wasn't. Then we have Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade, also a female main character who's fat. And yeah, amazing read. Shipwrecked has two main characters who are fat. One of them is Swedish, so that's kind of the outsider there. And yeah, also love this book. And then we have Geek Girl by Holly Smale. Main character has autism, very much on the outside of everything else. Though, be warned, if you're gonna read this book, you probably will cry. At least I did. It's definitely a book you will cry from reading. I have reread it since. It's a book I cry every time I read it. So, yeah, be ready for a good cry, this book. And then we have Tilly in Technicolor, which is a YA romance where Tilly has ADHD and Oliver has autism. They're both very much outsiders, and this book I read it last year, and it makes me just feel so seen. I mean, yeah, I don't have autism, but I am neurodiverse, and yeah, I love this book so dang much. And last but not least, we have Stonebroke Heiress by Danielle Owen Jones, where the main character she starts rich and then she loses her money and she has to get a job, and it's very much fish out of water experience story. But she's still an underdog because she doesn't really know how to do normal life, but she doesn't have a live on and whatnot. And yeah, this is just a delightful read, really. So yeah, that's my recommendations for your bookish gifting for this year. Or I suppose if someone has a birthday soon, also yeah, I suppose in general this is a huge recommendation video. And yeah, if you read any of these, please talk to me. If you have any books to recommend uh, based on these ideas, please talk to me about those. And I'll see you soon. And have a nice Black Friday if you do that. And